Hey guys, Sean here. So now a lot of you probably aren't going to recognize the King Pakal, but did he lift off to the stars? This is a Mayan king, and there's a very very famous image. It's a sarcophagus, the top of his tomb, and it has a very detailed drawings carved into the stone. A lot of people believe it shows that he had some technology and experience with a craft that could go and fly, possibly even the space. Now, the mainstream science, which just like the mainstream media is full of you know what. I'm gonna keep it family friendly. I've learned to just kind of like just tone down the vulgarity, and that's important. But yeah, a bunch of BS. Mainstream science. That's right. Mainstream science, a bunch of BS. What they teach in school, most of it's a bunch of crap. If your eggs are in that basket, I don't know what to tell you. All the power to you. But what they teach in school, been there, done that. It's not very helpful. Not very helpful at all. But anyway, I digress. So King Pakal, right? Let me show you. Let me show you. That's what the tomb, that's what the sarcophagus, that's what it looks like. But the image, that, a lot of you probably recognize that. It's one of the most mysterious images, one of the most mysterious artifacts in ancient history. The Mayan spaceship, does it represent? Does it represent a vehicle that flies? Why would they put that? Now back to I totally got like sidetracked and totally got like freaked out by like how annoyed I am by mainstream science. But but yeah, mainstream science. Oh, of course that doesn't represent any kind of technology. That would be silly. There was no such thing back then. My goodness, that is symbolic of going into the underworld or going into the afterlife. Now, from what I'm understanding and from what I'm hearing from those who I trust understand enough to explain it to me, and I'm going to share what I'm hearing. Now, I'll explain that. I'll tell you what I've heard in a minute. But just for me, I'm familiar with this image because I have been fascinated by the ancient Egyptians and the Mayans, and I've had past lives in both cultures. I remember one of my past lives fairly clearly in Egypt. But I put one video out about some of my recollection. I'll make it below. It's fine. But I always was very confident that that is representing some technology, a vehicle of some sort. But here's the cool thing for you guys. Here's what I've learned recently. It's not a spaceship. No, it was a land vehicle, like a scooter with a really high tech power source. So the mysterious and most interesting component to what this represents is the power source, the technology that pushed it. So what the technology, which is very very fascinating, whatever it was that was able to propel this vehicle, but he rode around on this thing. I don't know if he borrowed it. I don't know if he rode it all the time. I don't know if there was other ones available on the planet at the time. But he was riding. He rode that at least once. He rode that, and it was a land vehicle. Okay, so my understanding is that is a land vehicle. It's a very hot topic of what that represents. And the big thing is it symbolic or is it actually representing something that was visceral? Oh, it was visceral, all right, but it didn't fly. It moved on the ground. scooter, a fast scooter. So yeah, so that's just something to think about.